Hello, everyone. This is your daily dose of economy. Remember when Germany was lecturing Greece, Spain, and Italy how to run their economies? Turns out arrogance combined with complacency doesn't pay out. What is happening in Poland is nothing short of economic wonder. Standard of living in Poland, overtaking Spain and Italy within just one generation, is amazing. Poles simply work harder than others and have amazing entrepreneurial spirit instead of whining for the state to solve their problems like many people in other countries do. India's economy overtaking UK, the former colonial power, is just a start. Germany is a really strange country. Median family with 2 children is better off living from welfare than working. It's not only AI. Many European companies are run by unions, and the state sitting on their boards lack agility, flexibility, innovation, and entrepreneurial spirit. This chart really scares me each time I see it. Can you imagine? Absurdity of the euro in one chart. It created mass youth unemployment in southern Europe and destroyed value of future pensions in the north. Other than that, it has been a great success. Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway sold some Bank of America last week for the first time since 2019. For the first time, streaming passed 40% of total TV usage in the USA. Heat map of the S&P 500's performance from this past week. The S&P 500 just had its worst week since April. TSMC is leading chipmaker. GS Core Inflation Tracker is under 2%. Multifamily starts trailed completions by 104,600 units through the first half of 2024, the widest margin in 50 years, yet another sign of a high-supply environment soon to give way to a low-supply era. S&P 500 Information Technology forward 12-month profit margins are 27.4%, an all-time record high. Public debt around the world is rising to record highs. Equal weight S&P 500 still largely lags cap-weighted index 21 months into current run. Russell 2000 recent outperformance relative to the S&P 500. UK's monthly company insolvencies are 2,361, highest since the global financial crisis. U.S. labor market demand and labor supply are coming into better balance. Unemployment is near historic lows, yet high unsustainable fiscal deficits in Italy and France continue. The end of complacency. Fear index VIX has jumped 32.6% last week, the biggest weekly increase since March 2023, but at 16.5, the VIX level is still below the long-term average of 19.8. To put things into perspective, if you measure valuations against history, U.S. equities and U.S. high yield look rich, U.S. treasuries and European assets look cheap. Adjusting for inflation, the Japanese yen is at its weakest point in 57 years. Hedge funds have built largest long gold position in more than 4 years. Nvidia is coming in for its first test of the 50-day moving average since early May. Small caps just saw a weekly inflow of $9.9 billion, the second largest inflow in history. CrowdStrike suffers biggest decline since November 30, 2022. Eli Lilly, one of the strongest stocks this year, had its largest decline yesterday since March 15, 2021. Charles Schwab has now traded red for 6 consecutive days. On Friday of last week, 2 insiders, including the CEO at Charles Schwab, made sizable open market purchases. Rolling 1-year correlation between changes in the S&P 500 and Russell 2000 has fallen to the lowest since October 2000. In the past week, the Russell 2000 has had its best 4-day change since April 2020 and its worst 4-day change since this past April. S&P 500 banks still in a strong uptrend. Every member is trading above its 200-day moving average as of last Friday's close. S&P 500's forward PE is at 21.2 and quite stretched relative to its 200-day moving average. Brent crude, white, has cut through its 200-day moving average. WTI, blue, is approaching its 200-day moving average. Bloomberg Commodity Spot Index has sliced right through its 200-day moving average. Tech is starting this earnings season with forward 12-month profit margins at an all-time high. Here is the S&P 500 with maximum percentage drawdowns going back to 2000, presidential election years shaded in orange. Energy sector just had its best week relative to the S&P 500 since early April. Unemployment rate moved above its rolling 3-year average back in May, typically a recession signal. Just how much physical gold is China buying? China's local governments are in red. Revenue from land sales has fallen since 2021. China's fiscal situation is very unbalanced. Revenues are falling. Only energy is lower today. CrowdStrike has given back almost all of its year-to-date gains, was plus 53% in 2024 at the halfway mark, now plus 3%. This chart takes on a whole new meaning now. Stocks do well the second half of the year when a president is up for re-election, not so much if not. Retail interest change in Bitcoin is as low as when Bitcoin was $16,000. Bitcoin ETF flows for previous week. That's it for today. I hope it was useful. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Later.